Eva Holland, Nerve Adventures in the Science of Fear. Fear can grip and paralyze us, but is it possible to overcome it through psychology and science? Nerve Adventures in the Science of Fear, by Eva Holland, is a part memoir, part history, and part scientific inquiry that delves deep into the nature and origins of fear. As you read this book summary, explore critical topics such as fear responses, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, exposure therapy, and the effectiveness of various treatments. Discover how Holland, inspired by her own fears, embarked on a journey that might instill hope in those seeking to conquer their own fears and live a life unbounded by terror's barriers.
Conquering Fear. Eva Holland's book explores the nature of fear and its origins through a combination of memoir, history, and scientific inquiry. Holland knows fear intimately, from a fear of heights to terror about driving that came on after multiple car wrecks. These paled in comparison to her primary, visceral fear that her mom would die. When Holland's worst nightmare came true, she sought to discover if she could conquer her fear through psychology and science. The book provides an insightful and hopeful guide to anyone who seeks to overcome their fears. Overcoming Fear. Eva Holland's life-changing message from a fisheries officer on a canoe trip in northwestern British Columbia prompts her to confront her fears. Her mother's death leaves her paralyzed with fear, which she overcomes by investigating ways to beat her fears. The Anatomy of Fear. Fear is a natural part of being alive, but it differs from anxiety. Doctors have been trying to alleviate patients' fears since the time of Hippocrates. In Southeast Asia's Hmong culture, fear takes the form of a nightmare demon that causes nocturnal death syndrome. Understanding Emotions and Feelings. Author Holland draws from neuroscientist Antonio Damasio's work to explain the difference between emotions and feelings and how they relate to post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Emotions are physical reactions to stimuli while feelings are subjective experiences. In PTSD, past experiences can trigger an inappropriate response to safe situations. Holland breaks down the neural pathways and bodily processes involved in emotional responses, detailing how messages travel from the brain to the body and how the sympathetic nervous system reacts. This informative passage provides readers with a clear understanding of the mechanisms behind our emotional experiences. Conquering Fear with Exposure Therapy. The book discusses how Holland overcame her fear of heights through exposure therapy. By confronting heights repeatedly, she was able to build a new neural structure that helped her stay calm in anxiety-inducing situations. The book highlights psychiatrist Edna Foa's theory on how repeated exposure helps build a new neural structure. If one remains calm during a fearful encounter, a new structure forms, supplanting the old. The author emphasizes that just facing one's fear is not enough, one must experience the fear-inducing stimulus and remain calm to build a new neural structure. Overcoming Fear with Propranolol. Psychologist Dr. Merrill Kint believes that fears can be reworked using propranolol, a beta blocker. In her therapy, Kint reopens the fear and smooths out the frightened response in the patient's brain. Holland, the author of the book, underwent this therapy and successfully overcame her fear of heights. Kint took Holland to a ladder truck's platform where she felt fear and was given a dose of propranolol, which resulted in a feeling of calm. Holland's memory of scaling a great height consolidated with her propranolol-induced calmness, helping her overcome her fear. Eye movement therapy for traumatic memories. Psychologist Francine Shapiro developed EMDR therapy in 1987, which involves moving the eyes back and forth while focusing on a negative thought to reduce its power. Clinical studies have shown EMDR to be effective in reducing flashbacks, nightmares, and panic in people with traumatic memories, even those with PTSD. Despite initial skepticism, EMDR has been widely adopted by therapists. The therapy helped a patient named Holland overcome her fear of driving, allowing her to explore the world without fear stopping her. Eva Holland, a guinea pig for her readers. In The Observer Effect, author Eva Holland opens up about her emotional experiences while remaining objective, making her both relatable and credible. Her writing on her mother's death and life thereafter is particularly moving. Holland's candid discussion of her fears and frustrations allows readers to connect with her quest for escape. If you enjoy books about mastering the mind and emotions, you may also enjoy The Daily Stoic, Can't Hurt Me, and 12 Rules for Life.
Throughout Nerve, Adventures in the Science of Fear, Eva Holland explores the nature of fear and its various manifestations, embarking on a quest for understanding and freedom from terror. From examining anxiety in Hmong culture to confronting her own fears through EMDR therapy, Holland demonstrates that there is hope for those seeking to overcome their fears through psychological and scientific methods. By sharing her personal journey, she invites readers to connect with her story, inspect their fears, and realize that fear can, in fact, be defeated. More importantly, her experiences serve as a reminder that the power to conquer fear ultimately lies within ourselves, opening the door to a life full of endless possibilities.